Welcome back to Reading Bear. Today, we will take a look at some new I Don't Work Here Lady stories. And if you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and post some bear emojis in the comments. Let's go!
The first story is titled, No, I'm Not Gonna Walk Your Cart to Your Car. I had just went to a new store in my neighborhood. It was just finished being built and they had stocked up and opened. I decided since I was low on food to head on over there. I was wearing jeans with a blue shirt. I didn't have the logo of the store on it, but Karen still decided that I needed to carry her cart all the way to a restaurant across the parking lot so I can put nearly 100 items into her cart and push it back while she does makeup in 92-degree weather inside her air-conditioned car. I told her no and that I sent work here, so shut up and leave me alone. She screams at the top of her lungs, I am gonna get your manager. I said, go ahead, he can't do SHT since I'm not an employee. Then she stomps herself to a different worker yelling, give me the manager so this CNT gets fired. The worker is surprised that a wild Karen just did that, so he sees me, guesses that I'm the guy that the Karen is talking about, and he comes up to me and says come with me to the manager. Karen follows up behind us closely with a smug look. 1 minute later there's me who just got a discount, and there's Karen, who gets banned for 2 weeks. The next story is titled, No, You Can't Abandon Your Dog with Me. I recently took my dog to the vet at our local humane society. Half of the building is a veterinary clinic and half is an animal shelter. I decided to walk there because it was a nice day, and my dog would hate the trip a bit less. My city is still social distancing, and I had to wait outside on a nice shady bench while they gave my dog her checkup. Slowly but surely, it started. The door to the clinic was locked, and there was a large sign on the door saying to ring the buzzer for assistance. I found out later it also said that this wasn't the shelter entrance. Every few minutes someone would start going off on me about how I wouldn't let them into the building and was just sitting there. I was literally wearing gym shorts and a shirt, but that didn't stop them from questioning why I wasn't advising them on what to do about the locked door. I couldn't believe how many people had found dogs or needed to surrender an animal. It was quite sad. I kept pointing to the buzzer and saying, I think they want you to ring the buzzer, and then someone who actually worked there would help them. That worked until a bit later when I got the call from the vet telling me how the exam went. They call you from inside. Just then, a man comes up to and says, you have to take my dog or he will die. I pointed to the buzzer frantically while trying to listen to the vet. He ignored me and told me to get off the phone because this was important. Then he came closer, far into my social distancing space and said, he will die because you won't help me. He was kind of blocking my way to the buzzer. I would have pushed it for him. I eventually just interrupted the vet on the phone and told her about the man. They sent someone out who asked if he was surrendering a dog. He said yes calmly, and she told him it was in the other side of the building. He went back to his car and left. I was just dumbfounded. So the dog didn't need medical attention? Were you threatening to kill him if you couldn't surrender him? It was very sad and weird. From now on I'm going to bring my car to sit in when I go there. The next story is titled, You Don't Work Here. Several years ago, I was sitting in my wheelchair, talking to the doorman at a bar and grill near a major university. It was happy hour on a Friday, so a lot of people were coming in. Suddenly, there was an altercation outside, and the manager and doorman went outside to settle things down. But people still kept coming. So, I decided to check IDs. I'm not saying I did a good job, but people didn't come without being checked. There was one annoying standing next to me saying, you don't work here. You don't work here. Finally, I said, what do you care as long you get to drink? Finally, the manager and doorman came back, saw what I was doing, and joked about it. I think they realized that I was better than nothing. The next story is titled, Lady Thinks I Work at Circle K. So before I start I should mention that 1. I work at Chick-fil-A. 2. I can understand why she mistook me for an employee. 3. This is by far not the worst case of I don't work here, but it's the first time it happened to me. So, I went to Circle K after work to get a big ass drink, and while I'm getting my drink I hear a "Aram" from behind me. I just ignored it because I'm tired and stuff. Then I feel a tap on my shoulder, so I turn around and this lady starts demanding that I help her, and how can I just ignore her? So, I tell her that I don't work here. And she just scoffed and said, but you're wearing the uniform. You're just trying to be lazy, aren't you? Keep in mind I'm still wearing my name tag which clearly says Chick-fil-A on it. I once again tell her that I don't work there, and I can't help her, but she's still not listening, so I just take my name tag off and show it to her. She finally gets the point and just walks off without saying another word. So, again, not the worst case of I don't work here lady, but I thought it was mildly amusing. For anyone that may ask, my uniform is a red shirt and black slacks, and the Circle K uniform is a red shirt and khakis. The next story is titled, Wearing Work Gloves in a Hardware Store. I was at the hardware store, OB Germany. I have very sensitive skin and wear bandages at the moment, as the skin on my hands is irritated and broken from all the hand washing because of corona. I might overdo it, but that is another story. As I was going to buy topsoil and other garden stuff for my raised beds, I wore work gloves over the white bandages to keep them dry and clean. The people in the hardware store wear bright orange clothing. I wear all black. I was asked 3 times in a row where item X may be and what item Y costs. Always replying, SRY, I don't work here, and all 3 times the people said they were sorry and moved on. I asked the third one why they assumed I would work here, and they said, oh, you just look like you do, because you wear gloves. I asked them what about the orange clothing, and they claimed they didn't notice the employees wear all orange. I was asked something 2 times after that for a total of 5 times in this one shopping visit. Gladly all of them were polite and said sorry. But I will never again wear gloves in the hardware store. The next story is titled, Mistaken for a Stripper. I'm a driver for a local butcher that primarily works with restaurants. I drive a refrigerated truck and deliver hundreds of pounds of beef and pork every day. 8 months ago, unbeknownst to me, I delivered an order to a restaurant that was hosting an afternoon bachelorette party. I arrived shortly after noon, and I was starving. This was to be my last delivery before lunch, and I was in a hurry to eat. I dropped the steaks in the cooler and went out into the dining room to find someone to sign for the delivery. That's when they saw me. 2 women, both wearing hats featuring faux engorged members, approached me eagerly. They said they'd been waiting for me, and I protested. I don't work here, ladies, I said. It didn't matter. They dragged me to the private dining room. There, I was met by 8 to 11 more women wearing oddly erotic accessories. They were clutching fistfuls of dollars and screaming at me. I knew what I had to do. About halfway through my set, right as the guitar solo of Paradise City was kicking in, the real stripper showed up. He was pissed. I gathered my clothes, but it was too late. He was on me. He pinned me against a wall and screamed at me, "Who do you think you are?" I replied, matter-of-factly, I'm here to deliver the meat, and my job is done. I hit him with 17 Muay Thai elbows and knees as he considered my response, and he fell to the ground. The 10 to 13 women cheered. Just then, the manager walked in. He signed my invoice, and congratulated me on winning the fight. The real stripper woke up and said I was the best nude fighter he'd ever encountered. I left for lunch with 12 to 15 phone numbers written on the flesh of my expose appendages. Fast forward 8 months, I'm married to 5 of the women, and dating the stripper and the manager. Weekends are wild. Great sub. The next story is titled, You Need to Wear a Mask in Here, Ma'am. My mum, 38F, owns a small shop. There's a back room that I, 18F, usually hang out in. I don't work there, but I do watch the store when mum has to pee or something. We sell very festival-y, hippie clothing. Stuff like pagan goddess statues, very interesting stuff. It's mainly clothing though. So, I was watching the front because mum was on a coffee run. A lady comes in, classic Karen. She has no mask. We sell handmade masks from Nepal for $10. Me, excuse me, you need a mask to be in here. Karen, what? Me, please put on a mask. Karen, oh, I guess I'll leave. Me, I have a spare paper one, if you don't wanna buy one. Karen, after 5 months of that, there is no way I'm putting that on. Me, then please leave. Karen, I'll just grab this one. She grabs a mask from our bowl and begins to open the plastic bag. It's in me, that will be $10. Karen, well, I'll just use it while I'm in here, then leave. Me, you can't. She is one of those people that spits with every word. We won't be able to sell it then. Karen, you don't work here. Me, my mother owns the store. Karen, very funny. My sister owns the store, and you are fired. Me, I thought I didn't work here? Karen, stop lying. My mother comes in. Mum, can I help you? Karen, this little crap won't let me shop. I demand you fire him. I'm a female. Wearing a dress, with butt-length hair and very obvious boobs. Very feminine looking. Mum, she's my kid, she doesn't work here. She was just watching the store for me. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Karen grabs a mask and storms out. Little did she know, there are construction workers nearby who saw this whole thing. She came back in, followed by this massive buff guy, and dropped the $10 on the counter. No tax at all, just a $10 bill. My mum just paid the tiny bit of tax from her pocket and waved goodbye. The next story is titled, Rude Ass Customer Berates Elderly and Mentally Challenged Employees at Gas Station. A couple weeks ago I went to our local Wally World's gas station to get gas and a drink while out for the day with my mum. Due to CV they're limiting 2 to 3 customers inside at a time and masks required. Sounds fair, as this place is really tiny. Now the 2 clerks who work there are the absolute sweetest people. One is an older lady in her late 60s, early 70s at best, and a middle-aged gentleman who is a little bit slow, functioning autistic I think, but very very kind and sweet. I've become well known to these people, because they know I'm gonna say something if someone starts giving them crap while I'm there. This particular day, I was having a really bad day. Like just one of those moods where every single little thing pisses you off? Yeah. So I walk in and greet the cashier lady and get my usual, "Hey baby," from her, and I greet the gentleman with a, "How ya doin', love?" He smiles and giggles and goes back to stocking the shelf. I grab my stuff and am waiting behind the other customers, and all of a sudden this rude tourist comes rushing in. T, tourist MC, male clerk me. T, I need to use the restroom, where's the key? MC, sir, it's at capacity in here, you'll have to wait till someone leaves to come in. T, I need to use the bathroom. Give me the key. MC, our restrooms, out of order right now. T, just gimme the key, or it'll piss all over the damn building. I finally heard enough and I stepped in front of the clerk and yelled at this guy. Me, look a hole, he told you the bathroom's busted. You're ducking lucky they're even working so you can get gas to drive somewhere else to use the restroom. You should be thanking them for being here so you don't have to walk home in pissed pants. Now get the duck out. I was screaming at this point. The tourist flips me off and I walk out and make sure he got in his car and didn't all over the building as he said he would. I get to the register and pay for my stuff and apologize to the lady clerk and other customers for screaming and cussing. She pulls her mask down, smiles and says to me, "See, this is why I like you. You speak for us when we can't. Always feel safer from some rude customers when you're around." I tell her this is why I don't work retail anymore, cause I'd get fired for having a smart ass mouth with no filter. She gave me a discount on my items as well. Her coworker smiled as I was leaving and said a short thank you. Thank your essential workers, not just the ones in healthcare. The next story is titled, Being Tall Has Its Perks Sometimes. I've been going to the same grocery store for about 4 years. I'm a little over 6 feet tall, and what this usually means is that if there's a little old lady or a short guy who can't reach the soda on the top shelf, I'll get it down for them. If I see anyone trying to get something they can't reach, I'll get it for them without a word and then pull the rest of the stock forward so future short people can get it too. On this particular day, an old woman with a classy French accent wanted some Sprite. I helped her get 2 bottles down, then pulled the rest forward. Some other lady, a short middle-aged woman, came up behind me and stood there staring at me until I was done. I heard a very loud and rude "Excuse me" and turned to see her fuming. I asked what was wrong and she told me to follow her. I had nothing better to do, so why not? I followed her to the next aisle where she had her little kid, probably like 4 years old, sitting in the cart. They were in the international section and there were some off-brand Oreos he seemed to want. Anyway, the lady brought me right to her cart and then pointed at the top shelf where there was some hot sauce she wanted. "Get that down for me, will you?" Me, you could say please. Her, "You did it for that other lady and she didn't say please." Me, "Okay, fine, whatever. Here you go," and I got it down for her. She huffed and started to browse the rest of the aisle. I started filling her cart with random stuff from the aisle, just quietly putting Oreos and tortillas and other stuff in the cart. I also took some of her items out and hid it behind cans and other stuff in the shelves. Eventually she turned around and asked what I was doing. I just quickly walked away. I saw her later and she glared at me. I just laughed. Her cart still had the off-brand Oreos in it. The next story is titled, Too Shy to Say No. So this happened months ago to my boyfriend while visiting me at work. He looks almost identical to Charlie Day but is a shy guy who regularly is asked if he talks. He does. I'm a bartender at a college town bar that is always overrun with the typical prostitute and frat duck. My boyfriend decided to head outside to have a smoke. He was standing just to the side of the door on the edge of the alley when multiple groups of kiddos with mommy and daddy's credit cards walked up to go down to the bar. The way we are set up is that the bouncer is on the other side of the door when you walk in. People kept handing my boyfriend their IDs and he was too uncomfortable and most likely too stoned to tell them that he was not in fact the bouncer. This madness went on for 10 to 15 minutes before someone complained to our actual bouncer that they didn't understand why they had to have their ID checked twice just to enter the bar. The next story is titled, The Opposite of I Don't Work Here Lady. I was in a pretty big grocery store a couple of days ago looking for a sports drink that both of my children really like. I have been keeping an eye out for it the last few weeks, but haven't been able to find it. My kids keep sending it to our family shopping list app, but I never seem to find it. I just figured that due to the Rona, it is temporarily out of stock. Even though I know exactly what the drink looks like, I couldn't remember the actual name of the product. My kids call it lizard water. So, I'm in the aisle where the drinks are supposed to be, but I still can't find them. I'm walking back and forth down the aisle, which is one way only to keep social distancing in place, so it was even more awkward when a man, who was dressed normally, and not wearing the store uniform, asked me if he could help me find something. I just figured it was another customer, but I know that I sometimes help out in a store, so maybe it was just another nice person. I said I was drawing a blank on the actual name, but my kids call it lizard water. He immediately says the actual product name, and starts helping me look for it. When he can't find it either, he taps another man who was in the aisle, and asks if they have it. This second man, who is also not wearing a uniform, and looked nothing like an employee, says that he doesn't remember seeing it for a while, and whips out a tablet computer from his pocket and starts to search for it. The computer told him that the chain store doesn't carry it anymore, but if I go to customer service, they would gladly special order it for me. I didn't want to take him up on it, so I started a monthly subscription to be shipped directly to my home. I just keep thinking about how nice those guys were, and that the motto of the store is perfect. Shopping is a pleasure. The next story is titled, Mistaken for Service Staff, Just Rolled with it. Years ago, the local church was holding a lunch at a golf club. They typically did these once a year, an excuse to dress up a bit, have a nice lunch and socialize. I didn't really put much thought into what I'd wear since I was more interested in the lunch itself, so I just wore a black shirt, pants, belt, and some smart shoes. I figured it was a safe bet for the dress code. Fast forward a bit to the lunch, halfway through I wanted a drink, so I stand up and head to the bar. Before I'm there I feel a slight snag on my sleeve, which I figured was someone's child just trying to get my attention. When I turned, it was a woman in her 60s who said she was sorry but she'd been trying to get my attention and thought I hadn't heard her. Fair enough, so I asked what I could do for her in a friendly manner. She then asked if the pitcher of water for her table could be refilled. It dawned on me pretty quickly when I looked around that what I was wearing was pretty much the dress code for the part-time staff, several of which were young adults around my age at the time. Mostly just people there for the summer. I could have just told her I wasn't actually a member, but didn't want to cause any embarrassment, so I just said certainly and took the pitcher to the bar. I told the man behind the bar table 3 needed a refill. He nodded and took it from me, then looked at me oddly, realizing he didn't actually know who I was. He figured it out pretty quickly and had a laugh about it too, before I gave him my actual order and walked back to my table, hoping the entire time I wasn't seen by table 3. Uneventful overall, but have taken care to avoid dressing like a waiter when I go out to eat now. The next story is titled, I Dress Like a Spot Check Employee. I recently got a new bike because I've gotten more serious about mountain biking and my old bike just wasn't cutting it. I got it assembled and immediately took it out to some trails to break it in. Of course, my stupid ass goes flying off the side of a steep hill and my bike follows. Nothing too bad happened, my bike not shifting properly was the main thing that happened, so I took it to a sport check to get fixed. To fit the bike in my friend's car, I had to take the front wheel off, which wasn't too much trouble. I give the bike to one of the employees and he fixes it when my friend comes rushing into the store. He, very loudly, tells me that he really needs to crap and he's going home, but he'll come back and pick me up. I tell him that I'll just grab my wheel from his car and ride my bike back home. So the guy fixes my bike and gives it back to me, and I flip my bike over right next to the bike area and start putting my wheel back on. It's at this time that someone else comes in with their bike and starts to make small talk with me. He starts asking for advice about his bike, describes the problems he's having and asks what he can do about them. Now I don't know a ton about bikes, but I told him it sounds like he has a bent derailleur or derailleur hanger, but it would be better for him to ask one of the employees because they would have a better idea. His face quickly went from, "Yay, I'm getting my bike fixed," to, "Oh crap, what have I done?" He apologized and told me he thought I worked there, but I don't blame him because I realized later that I dressed like a Sport Check employee. I had a black Under Armour shirt and Adidas sweatpants on, which I'm pretty sure is Sport Check employee dress code. Anyway, that's the story. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and post some bear emojis in the comment.